Good afternoon. Oh, hello, my friends out in cyber world. Are we live? Is the internet working? It looks like we are. This is good. This is good. Whew. Sunday. What is today's date? May the 19th. We are live. Clearly not from Rythmia. We're live from San Jose, Costa Rica. I am live, coming to you live from my hotel room, where I am in Costa Rica, which you wouldn't be able to tell, but I am live in my hotel room in San Jose, the capital city. I'm just gonna wait and see who hops on here before I get too far into things today. Let's see, there we go, got it called up over here, perfect. Lisa's saying hello, I've got a few people joining in, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So like I said, I'm live from San Jose, so I might as well show you guys what's going on here. Pardon me, I'm gonna try not to cover up the camera here. Now if I flip around, there we go. So this is my current situation. Let me open the door, it's a little bit blurry. Woo, I am in the capital city of San Jose, Costa Rica. So this is where I'm at right now. Very, very different from life at Rythmia. But I am in Escazú, which is, oh, look at that. Look at that, you guys. Hooters. I didn't even notice that. But I'm in a part of San Jose that I come to quite often, and I'm going to bring back in because I think that the traffic sound might be loud. Let me flip this around. What am I doing? There we go. The traffic highway's right there, so I'm going to put that on hold for now. Wayne saying hello. Karen saying hello. Karen from Cali, saw you a couple weeks ago. Oh yes, beautiful. So I'm here in San Jose for various reasons. I was hoping to be back in Guanacaste province where Rythmia is by yesterday, but there's been some snafus in my plans. How is the audio, guys? Can someone let me know? I know that I'm using my iPad for my audio today, so I'm not sure how the quality is, if it's going to be loud enough, if I'm sitting back here comfortably. Can someone just let me know? So I come to San Jose often now for many reasons. One of those reasons being is I have a doctor here that I've been utilizing who's probably going to be my birth doctor. I'm aiming to do a very natural birth. Chris says the audio is good. Awesome. I'm hoping to do a very natural birth as much as possible. There's a doctor here in San Jose that pioneers the water births here in Costa Rica, so I've actually just started seeing him. So I come to San Jose to see him. But I also came to drop my car off at the mechanic here. I came to the agency here in San Jose to drop my car off this week to get, or last week, I was here over a week ago dropping it off and it was supposed to be ready. Denise says she hears me. Nikki says, hi Nikki. Sounds good. Donna says you sound clear. Perfect. Awesome, awesome. So I came to pick up my car and lo and behold, they fixed 100 things for me, but then broke my air conditioning. And it is a good 5-hour drive for me to get home from here, from San Jose. So I decided that I am not going to do that until I can get my air conditioning fixed. So obviously they're going to fix it under warranty. So here I am stuck in San Jose until the car repair shop opens again on Monday. So fingers crossed that they can get me in first thing tomorrow morning, get the air conditioned. Hopefully they just disconnected something while they were fixing other stuff under the hood, and I can get on the road back to Rythmia this week. Because we have an amazing week right now. Panesh Desai, our dear friend who's been to Rythmia many times, is with us. So I'm sad that I'm going to be missing his first day of workshops because he's going to be doing his workshop tomorrow afternoon. We just wrapped up a week with Taita, who was there at Rythmia. Taita, Juanito Chindon, and we had a massive group. We were sold out. So much love and so much healing. It was such a beautiful week. I was there until Friday, so I got to see everyone Friday morning post 2 nights drinking with Taita, and that was pretty exciting stuff. But I can't wait to get back. But here I am, live from my stodgy hotel room in San Jose with beautiful views right across from the shopping mall where I will be going after this to go buy some baby stuff. Speaking of baby, I'll show you guys my now 30-week bump. Whoa! That's a close-up. So this is my baby bump update. There's never been a more close-up view of that little girl, but this is where we're standing right now. It's pretty epic. She is one active little girl, beating me up from the inside with love. Woke up at 4:55 or something like that this morning with her, just going crazy, loving life. So she's clearly very healthy. You guys don't need to see up my skirt. So everything is good and I feel great. And we're running the home stretch starting week 30. That means we are 10 weeks from her being full term. What? Ravier, what a beautiful name. Ravier Miss Mallow says fab. Oh, that's past bumpy. Yes, Nikki, I guess it's more of it's a baby mountain I have growing in my belly right now. But I feel good. I did find out that I was anemic, and that was another thing I was doing here in town. I was visiting one of the local hospitals here where I had an iron IV infusion. So I was at the hospital yesterday morning for about an hour dealing with that, and hopefully that's going to make me feel better because I've been super tired, and I just have pregnancy-induced anemia, which is quite common. So we've nipped that in the bud. So what have I learned in this San Jose trip? So you'll see that the topic for today's talk was emotions and emotional eating, and I was gonna go into some theory about the psychology of eating and why certain mental illness and brain chemistry and all of that stuff, because I've been doing a lot of studying of that lately. But I'm not going to go into that just because I've had this experience of being stuck in San Jose, and I immediately started. When I realized I was going to be stuck here for the weekend, I had a bit of a meltdown yesterday, and I called my baby daddy, Levi, and was crying, and was like, I just want to come home. But then I very quickly realized that I need to practice what I preach, because we get to choose our feelings. We don't get to choose our emotions, but we do get to choose our feelings. And I was feeling emotionally a little bit stressed about it, fearful that I was going to miss work for a couple days, sad that I couldn't go home. And those were my emotions that were coming up around this. But then I had the choice to choose how I wanted to feel about the situation. So as soon as I hung up the phone with Levi, I decided to feel positive about the situation and started looking, okay, well, I'm in San Jose. What does that mean? That means I can book myself into a nice hotel. That means I can enjoy, some city food for a couple more days. That means I can go do more shopping for the baby, which I didn't have time to do in the short 2 days that I was here before. So I got to choose that feeling. And also I'm being very, very, very conscious about the way that I react to things and the way that and my stress levels, because I realize that, there's a certain biology going on constantly where my emotions are being fed directly into my baby and she's experiencing them as well. And I don't want her to feel sad and stressful and, grief and fear for no reason. So that's why I thought I'd go to that, a little bit more in that direction here with our little short Facebook Live today. Let's see who else is here. Marina's saying hello, gorgeous, from Canada. Tommy saying hi, I'm here. Beautiful. Claudia says looking great. Meg from Florida, a baby girl will be beautiful. Congrats. Yes, we're super excited. Yeah, anyone that wants to, let me know where you're watching from. I love to see where everyone's tuning in from. So what I was just talking about was the whole idea of emotions versus feelings, and we quite often use those two words interchangeably, but they are in fact different things, because emotions are they're the emotional states that arise from external stimuli. So it's like how we respond to things that happen around us. Those are emotions. We can't really choose whether or not we're going to have fear come up for us when we're in a fight or flight situation. We can't really, we don't get to choose when all of a sudden we have that sadness in our stomach when we find out someone we know has been hurt or died. So that is what an emotion is. An emotion is an actual physiological response to stimuli. Feelings, on the other hand, are mental associations, and these are things that we create around the emotions themselves. So we experience emotions, and over the course of our lives, we start, attaching feelings to these emotions. So if my emotion is sadness, then I'm going to feel grief, shame, guilt, anger, ABCD, whatever. We start, labeling our emotions with feelings, and it's a really hard differentiation. But in simple terms, like emotions are a physical state, whereas feelings are a mental association with that physical state. Does that make sense? So it's almost like we can be our physical selves, but we are not our thoughts. It's that same idea. We can be in our emotion, but we don't have to be in the feeling. Does that make sense? Or am I just talking in circles? Emotions are event driven, whereas feelings are usually learned behaviors, because we feel emotions through our lives, and either we decide that we want to utilize a feeling associated with emotion because it makes it easier, or we learn behaviors from our family, like if you have this emotion, then you should feel ABCD, guilt, shame, bad, blah blah blah. So that's the difference. Is that making sense? Let's see where everyone's watching from. We've got Birdie watching from Australia, which means that you're watching on Monday morning. Javier is watching from Montreal, Canada. Rosemary is saying hello from Los Angeles. Tommy is saying tuning in from Vernal, Utah. Patricia is watching from Worcester, Massachusetts. And Guy is saying he's watching from North Hollywood, California. So this is really what I wanted to get to today. It's just the difference between emotions and feelings, and the fact that we get to choose. And then just touch on emotional eating, because so many people, myself included, have labeled myself or self-diagnosed myself as an emotional eater. When in fact, and we act like that is an ailment or an issue or a disorder, or if we are an emotional eater, then we need to heal that. When in fact, we are all, whether we associate with having a disordered relationship with food and eating or not, we're all emotional eaters, because we are emotional beings. And when we eat, we are feeling emotions. If we're eating dinner with our friend, that's an emotion of joy and connectivity that we have. If we're eating because we had a stressful day, we're eating because we have that emotion of stress, and we're usually using the food to try to ease that stress. Whereas if we're eating a birthday cake, celebrating our birthday, the emotion that we're connecting to with the birthday is joy and celebratory bliss. So I think that is the first thing that I really want to talk about, is the idea that we're not emotional eaters as a disorder. We're all emotional eaters. We all eat, and because food is connected to emotion directly, whether we consciously realize it or not. It's the idea, when we label ourselves as a disordered emotional eater, it's like, I am eating unwanted food because I'm feeling unwanted feelings. But that's just one little portion of the situation. Turning to food to change the way we feel. That is a way that we use food as a drug. I don't necessarily believe that makes you an emotional eater. There's different levels and different scopes of how we all use food emotionally, and there's a whole spectrum. I hate to say there's a spectrum. She's on the spectrum of emotional disordered eating, but there's so many levels to it. So I think the biggest lesson that we need to talk about too is the idea that oh goodness, I've got people messaging here. Kenneth is saying hello. Hello, Kenneth. We got Leaf watching from Denmark. Rosemary saying, when I went to massage school in Worcester in 2000, Bancroft. Oh, so people are connecting. Super cool. Robin's watching. Patricia says, ha, I live down the street from Bancroft School. So funny. I love that you guys are connecting. So I think that because we are emotional beings, we can just learn to accept that we're going to connect emotions with our food, because we can't choose have to be emotional. But as long as we're embracing all of our emotions in their totality, good and bad, then we can start to eliminate all of the issues that we think we have around food. And there's so many different ways to do that. That's why at Rythmia, we use things like breath work, where during breath work you learn to, hi Fiona, hi Elias, you guys are watching, super cool. During the breath work program at Rythmia, we learn how to embrace all of our feelings, the good feelings, and all of those emotions and feelings that we've labeled as bad, right? Like the grief and the shame and the anger and the frustration and all of these emotions that we have then turned into negative feelings. We learn to be okay with all of it and embrace all of it, because as long as we can do that, then we aren't going to try to stuff them down. Because the problem starts with food when we have an emotion come up, fear. We associate that with the feeling of, okay, why am I'm feeling this emotion. I have this emotion of fear coming up. So I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling lonely. So instead of just sitting and feeling and being with these feelings and emotions, we don't want to feel those bad feelings because they're bad feelings and they're uncomfortable. So what do? We turn to food to stuff them down, to help us forget about these feelings so that we never actually fully experience these emotions or feelings, so then they stay with us forever. Whereas with, what we try to do in breath work and through so many different healing modalities, breath work's not the only one, obviously, is to just learn to be okay with those emotions and with those feelings and accepting them as perfectly good and fine, and losing the idea that we have to label them as being negative, so that we don't have to use things like food or drugs or alcohol or sex or any of these other, less than ideal substances or activities to alleviate the suffering that these feelings and emotions have brought on. Does that make sense? So many people come to me at Rythmia all the time at the beginning of the week. Last week, even when we had like 80 guests, I had 3 people come to me at the beginning of the week and just say, oh my God, I am hoping that Mother Ayahuasca, the plant medicine, can help heal my relationship with food. I have so much fear around it because I've had so many physical health issues when it comes to how I eat. I've had, I've had years of bulimia that lots and lots and lots of people come to me about, bulimia, because that's obviously what I dealt with for 20 years. I had super, super strong, resistance to feeling any sort of feeling that in my head I'd labeled as bad. I could not be lonely. I could not be stressed out. I could not feel busy, but I could not allow myself to feel boredom. Like, there were so many things that I wasn't comfortable with for so many years. So when I would feel any of that stuff, I would just binge and purge because I didn't want to feel it. I didn't know how to feel it. So I would eat and using food as a drug to numb me from these feelings and emotions that I didn't want to feel. And then I would purge because that was my cycle. Because then I would feel super guilty for having eaten all that food. So then I would throw it all up. And the medicine does address a lot of our quote unquote emotional eating and disordered food patterns, but not directly. Quite often what people find is the breath work and the plant medicine works to work down deep underneath to all of their root limiting beliefs and all of their core, discrepancies in their core values and their belief systems. The medicine works through all of that to help bring them back to a place of wholeness and connectedness and knowing that they are enough and that they are nothing but pure love. And in that, the food stuff just falls away, because then all of a sudden you're not feeling all of these emotions and labeling them with negative feelings that you need to cancel out by doing either binge eating, emotional eating, restricting, because that's another whole way that people emotionally, abuse their relationship with food. They just don't eat. They don't feel like they're worthy. I'm not enough is a big, I think that's the most common limiting belief in just in general and in society. So a lot of people turn to restriction because they don't feel like they deserve to eat and they want to be invisible, so they starve themselves. But the medicine and the breath work and a lot of these healing modalities directly works at that core belief or that limiting belief or that, what does Jerry call it? Pregnancy brain. That lie, that one main lie that we tell ourselves our whole life. So then all of the other stuff falls away. People realize they don't need to drink so much. They don't feel like they need to smoke cigarettes, do the drugs, or deal with the food. So I think that's the biggest thing about emotional eating, is that we're all emotional eaters. So stop acting like it's such a bad thing. And it's really just about working to resolve the core mislabeling of our emotions, and which usually has a really close correlation to our limiting beliefs in our lives that are really getting us stuck. Fiona's blowing me kisses. What a sweetheart. Tommy says, I love your hair. I want to buzz my hair. You should do it. It's super cool in the summer, I'll tell you, here in sunny Costa Rica. What if the feeling is jealousy? So if you're feeling jealousy, there's usually an emotion that comes up. And usually, to feel jealousy, the emotion that you might feel around something, I find, can be positive. Like, you feel the emotion of, like, you're almost like you're someone in your life does something that is good for them, so you feel actually bliss around that. But then in your head, you associate that with, okay, if they've got that raise or got that promotion or managed to get buy the house of their dreams, then that means I can't. So then you associate that beautiful, that good emotion with the bad feeling or bad idea. You know that, okay, well, I'm not going to get that. So that becomes jealousy. I mean, jealousy is a tricky one because jealousy, shame, and guilt, these are all like the lowest of the vibrations as far as feelings and emotions come when we talk about those things. Jealousy is a hard one. Humans are innately jealous. It's working through, you know, and just accepting that too. And also, if you feel jealous, don't beat yourself up for it. And then really think about where that jealousy came from. What was the emotion that brought up the jealousy? And look at, you know, the situation individually, because every situation is going to be super, super different. Polly says hello from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Rosemary, do you think jealousy could be feeling less than or not good enough? Of course, 100%. If you're feeling like I was just saying, jealousy it's usually when we see something good happening to someone else, and so we assume that we can't ever have it, which is not true. But that is the whole idea of scarcity. There's such a scarcity mindset still, that if she gets it, then I can't, which doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, if this person is a health coach, you know, teaching emotional eating, then there's not room for me to do it. But there always is, because this infinite energy and infinite, you know, need for this healing, especially right now when it's just really starting to take hold. But also, what was the note? Did you generally be feeling good enough? Yes. And just the whole idea of I'm not good enough. So if it's a jealousy situation where your partner, you automatically are super jealous that your partner smiles at another man, for example, that could just be a direct mirror of your whole mental, idea that, which you associate that feeling of that it's a learned behavior that he's smiling at her, that means he doesn't love me anymore, or he's smiling at her so he wants her more than me, which is just, this is again your mind making up stories, right? Abundance, yes, Nikki, that's exactly the opposite of scarcity is abundance, and that's where we are shifting, because abundance is available for everyone as long as we believe it and we do massive action towards achieving it. Enough of this whole manifesting idea that I'm going to have abundance sitting at home on my sofa. You're not going to get abundance that way. You need to believe that it is out there, eliminate all of the scarcity mindset, and then take massive actions towards making it real. Okay, you guys, we got off track. This wasn't about emotional eating fully, but I'm looking forward to talking a lot more about all of this stuff, because I think that it's important, and a lot of people have, I spend hours every week just messaging people back on Facebook and WhatsApp and email and through my website, people questioning, just their ideas around food and what my opinion, which, I'm more than happy to share, because I've gone through a lot and I've been figuring out a lot about, food relationships and diet and all of that through the course of my healing practice. So I'm going to talk more about it, and I've been doing a lot of courses, transformational nutrition, psychology, food psychology and stuff like that. So I want to start talking about it more. And not to mention, when I have a brand new baby at home, I'm not going to be at work cooking a lot, so I might just do a lot more of these food psychology type of talks. So what I want you guys to do is message me with topics you might want me to talk about, or any questions that you have, even offline. After we're done here, send me a private message or put a question, in the comments, or email me or WhatsApp me any questions you have that we could talk about in the future, because I would love to touch on, stuff that you guys want to hear about. That being said, next week, the topic of the day will be at Rythmia, and I'm going to be doing wonderful waffle ironing. Apparently I'm going to make stuff with waffle irons, unlike just your typical waffles. Sweet and savory, I've got a few ideas. We're going to use that home appliance to make some exciting things. Jeff Harding is saying your due date is when I arrive. My due date is August 4th. I think it's been August 10th for a long time, but we've moved it back up to August 4th. That was my original due date. My doctor has moved it up there, so that's like 10 weeks from now. Crazy! Okay, guys, I hope that you're having a beautiful, beautiful May. Wow, look at this. Oh, halfway through May already. Happy May long weekend, by the way, to all you Canadians out there. I think that today is Sunday of the May 2 for long weekend. Victoria Day weekend, I believe it is. The first long weekend of summer, so that's exciting, kicking things off for the summertime. So I hope everyone's having a beautiful, 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 beautiful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys here next Sunday. Not from a hotel room, not from San Jose, but live from Rythmia, where we will be cooking up a storm. Love you guys so much. Have a beautiful week. Ciao. Mwah.